Hey everyone, today I wanted to do a comparison video between the M4 and the M3. Obviously they're both very similar cars and you're not really going wrong with either car, but there are some subtle differences between these two cars and I wanted to go over those. As far as I know, maybe we'll miss some of them, but in my mind, on paper at least, the M3 is an easier car to live with, obviously being a four-door car, but for other reasons as well. Yet the M4 still outsells the M3, so we'll have a look at both cars and give our subjective opinions as to why we like the car we purchased, and maybe it will help you guys with your purchasing decision if you're looking at an M3 or M4. So the M3 is owned by my friend Anuj here, and you've just bought it. How many miles on it?
3,800. I mean, 2,000 of them were in Europe. So I put 2,000, well, and another 500-600 miles driving from South Carolina back to New Jersey via the Performance Center delivery as well.
Right.
So I've only really driven 1,000 miles since it's been back at home.
Whereas my car is now over a year old and it's done 21,000 miles. So today you've been... motorcyclists. No. I hate you. Today you've been driving my M4. How's it felt differently than your M3?
So, believe it or not, I mean, the car has what, about 22,000 miles on the odometer. It feels tight. The chassis is very tight. I know you still have the original tires on the vehicle. I know a lot of guys replace out their tires because they're worn out by maybe 10, 15,000 miles.
You've got your winter tires on already, and I think we should say that right from the beginning, is that this car's currently already got its 18-inch winter tires, so that's something that's going to make it look a little different.
But I mean, regarding your tires, they grip really well. We were driving on mountain roads up here in Bear Mountain and Harriman State Park, but it gripped well. It feels just as tight as my vehicle is right now. Yeah, and your car's the manual, and I've been driving your car all day, and each time I get back in the M4, which of course is the dual clutch, I'm trying to find the clutch again. So yeah, I'm missing the manual already. But yeah, let's have a look around the cars and look at some of the cosmetic differences between the M3 and the M4. The first thing you may notice is the front of the car. So from the front fender hood onward, it is exactly identical. I mean, you have the LED headlights just like I do. The front bumper is identical, same part number, I would even believe. The hood, the front fenders, exactly the same. It's really behind that section is what really makes it. And you notice straight away when you're looking down the edge, the car looks a lot more flat or streamlined on the M4, whereas with the M3, you see that bulge where the wheel arches straight away. So pronounced on the M3 compared to the M4. The reason being, I mean, the M3 and the M4 both have the same track, I believe. However, on the M3 coming from the F80 chassis, they needed a way to fit in the wider track in the rear, and they just made the fenders a little bit more pronounced, whereas the M4 is a wider car to begin with. Interestingly, the cars are supposed to have the same performance. Some people say the M3's got the slight edge, but they're the same weight. They're within 10 pounds weight of each other, so same engines, same everything else, so they should perform much the same. And certainly driving the M3 today, it seemed like it performed just the same as the M4, a bit with different tires, of course, so different grip. I mean, just to looking at the vehicle again, it looks like the M4, just being the two-door it is, the roof is definitely has more of a streamlined look to it compared to the greenhouse that is the M3. Yeah. So the M3 is 2 inches higher than the M4, and that's noticeable in the back of the car. When I sit in the rear seat of the M4, my head just touches the ceiling. Whereas when I sit in the back seat of the M3, I have no trouble. So here, turn this camera around, see I've got plenty of headroom. So there's almost 2 inches more headroom in the back of the M3. And of course it has a rear door. How often do you travel with passengers in your car? All the time, and it is a nightmare. It is a nightmare getting people in and out of the back of the M4.
And a big part of that is obviously there's no rear door, but also the front door is so much larger. I brought along a measuring tape here. If you have a look at the size of the door of the front door of the M3, it is 42 inches long, whereas the M4 it is 57 inches long. So that is a significant increase in size. And so, you know, I can get in and out of the M3 with them parked this closely, no problem. But in the M4, I'm struggling to get in. So that is a big difference, I guess. So yeah, another big difference between them, of course, is the price. $2,200 difference if you buy less if you're buying the M3. So the M3 gets 2 doors, but it's a lower cost car. What else?
Quite frankly, Nick, I mean, we both have the same color, the Secure orange. I think the M3 looks a little bit better in Secure orange.
Let's face it, the M4 is the better looking car.
I don't know.
There's just no question. So, and a big difference at the back here is the way the boot is sculpted as well. The M3 is a perfectly flat boot with a little lip spoiler, whereas the M4 is contoured to match the carbon fiber roof. If I pop it up here like this, you can see how the roof line carries on down to the trunk.
That's a great design element, and I think your trunk itself, you don't need the lip spoiler because the trunk.
That there adds a good 10 miles an hour to the car. But yeah, really, I guess the reason why people buy the M4, because it is a far more inconvenient car to own, is simply the look. It's a squatter, sleeker looking car, but it's a matter of opinion. You know, some people like the obviously, some people like the look of the M3 more. And really, unless they're side by side like this, it's hard to spot the difference. So one other difference, of course, is also there's a 5th seat in the M3. So not only is the access easier, but you can sort of uncomfortably put a third person along the back row. Whereas here in the 4 Series and the M4, you get this little useless pouch for some reason, which prevents anyone from sitting in the back.
And I don't believe you have the cold weather package on your vehicle.
Yes.
And I don't believe the M4 has a rear heated seats.
It doesn't. Does yours get rear heated?
It does.
Oh, so for the same price, you get 2 more seats heated. So annoying. So yeah, lots of little subtle differences. So there's no question that the M3 is better value for money and an easier car to live with. Yet, more people seem to buy the M4 simply because of the look.
It has to be. I mean, I know the M4 does outsell the M3.
Yeah.
And just like the previous generation, the E92 outsold the E90. I guess when people think of an M car, they think of sportiness, and you know, coupes are generally have more sex appeal than a sedan does.
Yeah, that's true.
Even in this case, when the sedan looks a little bit better.
Yeah, I haven't found the sex appeal happening for me yet, but it could hopefully start any time. Yeah, people that have tracked the two swear that the M3 is a little faster than the M4, which surprises me. But
maybe M3 owners are just a little faster than M4 owners. It might be it. Whereas M4 owners, you know,
we're a bunch of old men. So yeah, that about wraps it up. We're going to give you some shots of the cars side by side so you can get a better look of the look of the car, which is really what I think is the deciding factor for most people, is how the car looks as opposed to the convenience and the price and everything else. But yeah, certainly value for money goes to the M3. Has the original badge, it has so many more features thrown in, whereas the M4 is just
Why did you choose your M4?
I would choose it again. I just love the look. I like the sleeker look of the M4, even though it's inconvenient and it's a nightmare getting people in and out of the back. Yeah, I love the look of a coupe.
Well, my question was, why did you choose it? But I think you answered it anyway. You love the look of the coupe.
Yeah.
for me,
Yep.
I already have another coupe or a roadster at home.
Yep.
Where I needed a more practical vehicle.
Right.
And you know, I'm going to let this car grow with me. When I test drove it, I knew that this car was a long-term keeper.
Yep.
So I'm going to allow this car to grow with me, and that's why I got the 4 doors.
Yep. Very good. Oh, thanks for letting me drive your car today. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.